Greetings. Live from New York. It's Friday night. How's everybody doing? Thank you for letting me practice some stuff. It's experimental night because I'm rehearsing for tomorrow. I have a show. It's live streaming. It's improvisation. It's going to be a lot of this type of stuff. I'm working out my different pedals, figuring out the different sounds, what to do. So just playing in front of a live audience. I don't even know how many of you. Oh, yeah, there's a decent crowd out here. It's great to just play for some of you folks. I'm a little earlier than I've been the last couple weeks. I've been showing up usually a little after 12. I got started a little early. I'm trying to get these things earlier, gradually. So, a lot of questions about what I'm playing through. So, first, I think I've earned this first one of the day. This is my tradition. And I see my friend in Istanbul. I see folks in Argentina. So many folks. This is great. So international. And I have a beer from Dublin, Ireland, Guinness. And this is the right way to pour Guinness, by the way. And then I'm just going to let that sit. And so I'm playing through a bunch of different effects. Some things I haven't played for a long time. A couple of these things were sent over recently. I'll give you just a quick little view of below. Well, you guys probably know my main foot pedal board, which is there. But all these things here, those are new, except for the blue pedal, except for the flashback. Okay, so somebody asked, how are you getting that delay? Well, there's actually a couple different delays. So there's our two flashbacks. There's a small flashback, okay, and that gives me a very basic delay. So if I just play the delay on the small flashback, it's that. That's a little bit faster than I actually wanted, so I'm going to slow that down a little bit. And there I just did the opposite. I sped it up. Okay, so this is more like a normal delay for me. Alright, so I consider that my normal delay. But I have this other thing. I don't know if you saw the very colorful pedal. That's the hand-painted one. It's made by Jam Pedals. And they call it Delay Llama. I actually have another one here. This is what it normally looks like when you purchase it. But they also do them in custom paint jobs. So I had them do me one kind of like Van Gogh's Starry Night. It's a very cool pedal. Okay, so that's my special delay, right? So that almost has more like a digital delay sound. Let's speed that up just a little bit. Even though, see how strong that is? So that's a totally different delay sound. And it's funny, the knobs are unmarked, so I sometimes forget what it is. Okay, so that's the level. Okay, so there's a level. And that's the feedback, and this is the delay time. So that's got a really nice sound. But one of the ways I was getting the weird sounds is that hooked up to the delay pedal, there's another pedal, and this lets me control the delay time, right? So I can play a note. Did you hear that? So that changes the delay time. So now I've sped up the delay time with this additional pedal, this extra pedal. And that's more my normal delay time. Now I'll speed it up more. Right, you see it's got a slight effect on it. Now the coolest thing is, with this pedal, while you change the delay time, it changes the speed, and you get this whole other effect, right? So I'm just going to play a note. You'll hear the delay, but you'll also hear this other effect that happens while the time changes. Isn't that cool? So it's almost like it's a little bit like the whammy pedal in a way. It's crazy, right? But it's also this really beautiful sounding delay. So another thing I dug up is this thing called the sub up. This is made by TC Electronics, and that gives it an octave sound. So you hear that? So that's fun for like synthesizer sounding lines, or if I'm laying down a loop like I did while I was playing before, I might play a simple rhythmic thing. And then on this flashback X4, so that's another flat, that's the big version of the first delay, but that has a looper on it. Right, so I can set the loop. I have it set to play that as a loop. So then I can loop that. And I turned it down. There you go. So now I have this cool part, and I can turn off the sub-up pedal, and I can just play with a normal sound, maybe a rhythm guitar sound. Yeah, so fun with toys. Oh, I have this other one. This was just sent to me. This is made by a company also in Greece. Jam Pedals is from Athens, and so is this company. They're called Crazy Tube Circuits. So it's called the Splash pedal, and technically it's a reverb pedal, but it's got this really cool like extended reverb. It almost makes it sound more like an ambient synthesizer or something. And it just lasts so long, right? It's like, and it's still going. And it just changes your mood. So you can just create a whole world of sound. It's very different than playing with a band. Except tomorrow, this thing I'm going to be doing, I will be playing with a band, but we're all going to be kind of creating atmospheric stuff. So it should be really interesting. I posted about it yesterday, and this is one of these new situations where it's a live stream, and you can get tickets to it. And you can also get a download of the show. And I'm really excited. It's with the founder of Brand X, right? Percy Jones, who's like a legend. He started a band called Brand X. And the drummer at the time called himself Philip Collins. He's a hippie-ish guy with a long beard. And Philip Collins had another band called Genesis that he got really busy with, so he left to stay with Genesis. And he was also a singer, and he shortened his name to Phil, called himself Phil Collins. And some of you probably know who that is. But he is the original drummer of Brand X. And the Brand X music is really cool. And Percy Jones is the founder of Brand X. And it's just this crazy cool coincidence that I got paired up with him for this concert. This totally improvised concert that's taking place at an arts venue in Brooklyn called Shapeshifter Lab. And the owner of Shapeshifter Lab, interestingly, is a phenomenal bass player. I've seen him play with John McLaughlin and others, Matthew Garrison. He's actually the son of the great Jimmy Garrison, who used to play with John Coltrane. The drummer I've played with before, Kenny Grahowski, and he's a guy like myself. He's covers all areas of music. He's in a couple different metal bands. He's in a metal band called Imperial Triumphant. But he also plays with John Zorn, and he's the current drummer for Brand X. And I always dig playing with him. And Tim Motzer is playing as well, and he's like a loop master. Like, he has whole albums of loop stuff. So I'm really excited. It's very different. But it's gonna be fun, and it's the first time playing live in a long time. So yeah, I don't exactly know what I'm gonna do. So I'm just getting everything together and just playing it for a little bit of it for you guys is really good practice. Thank you for letting me practice for you, and I'm gonna have a sip of beer. And how's everybody doing? Yeah, if anybody wants to check out the gig, it's tomorrow. I'm going to scroll back a bit and see if there are questions. I see a lot of hellos, getting to jam. Oh, somebody's jamming with me. That's very cool. Very cool. Yeah, I'm not taking requests tonight because I'm working on stuff. I have a gig tomorrow. So, no requests. I played the SG a couple weeks ago. I actually played the double neck last week. So you never know what I'm going to play. Yeah, no, it's good to hear from so many of you guys. Yeah. I hope everybody's doing all right. And yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to play this show. And I see a comment. The podcast is amazing, dude. Thanks for the Peter Green. Oh, thank you so much. I'm having so much fun with the podcast. I'm about to launch into another one. It's definitely a whole thing. I need to wait till I perform tomorrow and do this show, and then I'm gonna do the next episode, which is gonna be part 2 of Peter Green, by the way. Well, the response is great. It's still on the charts. I'm getting these notifications every day that it's charting all over the world, and I have lots of ideas for it, and I'm having a good time with that. Yes, I do miss concerts, but I do like having the time and energy to do these other things. So I'm hoping in the future there's a balance between the podcasts and the recordings. Some very cool recordings are coming up as well. I just spoke to a good friend of mine who's a phenomenal bass player that we're working on some music together, and there's like more stuff that I can keep track of. So somehow, even though the whole touring industry shut down, I seem to be busier than ever. And thank you, Taco. Yeah, I feel blessed. I do feel very blessed. James is digging the podcast. If I could get Stu Ham, yeah, that's gonna have to happen. and he is incidentally the bass player that we're talking, and we're working on some stuff. We actually have a thing that's going to be live streamed as well. It's not for a couple months, so it's not announced yet. So maybe I shouldn't be announcing it, but at this point I see no harm in mentioning it. And that's going to be in October. It's going to be a live stream. I'm going to wait on the details, but I'll just say it is with Stu and Joel, the drummer, Joel Taylor, that we've played with a lot the last few years, and we have a really nice chemistry. So I'm excited about that. Ronnie saw Testament in India in 2012. I loved going there. I remember it well. I remember that trip very well. And so I see a few requests. Again, I'm in prep mode. I'm not taking requests tonight, but I hear you. I see the question, do you ever fall into slumps when it comes to writing? Gosh, not really. I mean, I would never, not as far as coming up with ideas. I think it's more, I know the frame of mind I need to be in to create music that I like, and it takes a lot of energy is the main thing. And I know what has to be done. I have to get into this zone. And yeah, so I wouldn't say it's like a writer's block, but sometimes if I'm tired for whatever reason, if it's travel or just doing a lot of other things, then it's hard. It's hard to find the energy that's needed to pull that together. But, I pretty much can do it. If I set aside the time and I allow myself to rest and just be focused. I think that's the biggest challenging. The biggest challenge with writing is focus, because it's very hard to stay focused. There's so much going on at all times. I mean, the world is going berserk. I remember we used to feel like things have calmed down so much, right? It's no longer like, the 60s or, one of these crazy time periods. But no, it feels like that again. So, there's this onslaught of information, and we have these devices, and it's wonderful that I can communicate with you all on this device, but we all have one of these devices. We're constantly getting pinged. We're constantly given, breaking news or just notifications. So there's constant distractions. So the challenge to me, to wrap up the answer about writing and getting into slumps, it's never slumps. It's just not successfully avoiding the distractions. So I have to find time to just turn everything off, turn off the phone, chill out, and just create this space where you can, which guitar do I want to pick up? Okay, maybe, listen to some music, get in the right frame of mind. Maybe I want to go over to the piano, and just allowing that instead of it, because a lot of the time things are so rushed. And, Yes, it's all about the mindset. Exactly. Ronnie recently learned that I was 16 or 18 when I joined. Yes, I was actually 15 when I joined. I was about to turn 16, and within 2 years we were doing The Legacy, the first album, and then I was 18. So that was my college. And there's Andy Bianco. What's happening, man? Very good guitar player. Local cat. Good to hear from you. It's always fun to see musicians on here. Vanya is asking, have you ever played headless guitar? I never have. There's a couple of them that I think are cool. You know, like, I don't know if you guys remember. I haven't seen these around in a long time. Like the Klein guitars. Those were really cool. I was never crazy about the Steinbergers. But the Kleins, yeah, those could be interesting. Satch Wayne says you should jam with Joe Satriani sometime. I did, actually, quite within the last year. The G4. Maybe it was the year before last. I forget. The one where he had Petrucci and Phil Collen on tour. And we jammed. Oh, it was great. It was great. It was in New Jersey, and we've jammed before. We're on a recording together. The last Metal Allegiance album called Power Drunk Majesty, the title track. Joe and I are trading off, so check that out. What else? Yeah, Ronnie's saying, yes, he took lessons from... I did. I took lessons from Joe. So I knew Joe before any of you knew Joe. I was very young. Adrienne. Yo, Adrienne. What about the Skolnick Trio? Are you guys still playing? Yes, we are. So we have some music recorded. That's... it's taken a little longer to get together because it's going to have guests. And then I believe next year sometime we'll do some new trio music. But I haven't announced it yet, and I might as well announce it, that there is going to be a streaming concert, kind of like the one I'm doing tomorrow with the Brand X guys. The same presenter, Moon June, which is a progressive instrumental record label. They're going to be presenting a trio concert as well in September, and it's going to be a very similar thing where you can get tickets, but the tickets include a download, and it's going to be a very cool experience. Obviously socially distanced, no audience there. I believe that I'm going to announce that this week, but I believe that is September 6th. So yes, yeah, trio is alive and well, and you will hear from us very soon. Please play Souls of Black. I'm off from requests tonight. Thank you for being a major influence. Was a metalhead that put his ass to study jazz. Okay, cool. Well, we have that in common. And we're not alone anymore. I used to be such a freak because I loved jazz guitar and all jazz, as well as playing metal. And now it's not that unusual. I mean, I guess it's still unusual, but it's not. You're not like a total pariah, you know. There's Dave Davidson and Kenny, who I'm playing with tomorrow, the great drummer, who plays. You know, he does metal and jazz, and that's very cool to hear. Let's see. Souls of Black back patch, which I have now. People often say metal is dead. The fact I'm 16 and I got my 47-year-old dad into that. That's awesome. Thank you, Zach. Well, that's very cool. I mean, that's one of the really fun things about the music, I think, is that the generations get younger. People. I mean, some people stick with it. Maybe not everybody, but there's always this audience, and there's always a young audience, and it's really nice to have that. So, so the show tomorrow is exciting, and the podcast has been keeping me busy. The Patreon account, so I have a Patreon account for those interested, and I'm going to be adding some new tutorials there. That's where my tutorials are. And that's the best way for requests, too. There's ways to get requests, but It's usually for Patreon members. There's a few exceptions, when enough people make the same request, I'll try to honor it. But I get like way more requests than I can handle. I'm also working on a music instruction piece of material. I may have hinted about it before, but it's almost, I can't wait. This is going to be done. But it's a lot of work, but it's going really well. And I'm having fun. It's just a lot less travel, and being able to connect with all you guys is really great. So maybe I'll play a little more with the experimental stuff, unless anybody has any more questions. Do you have a current signature guitar? Do you see this guitar? Those are my initials. This is made by ESP. Oh, you probably can't see the logo because of the touring, but yeah, there's my signature. There's the logo. There are a couple different versions of this guitar. This is just the most recent one, and the others have fixed bridges. And you must have come late, Arthur. This is a Guinness. And my first concert was Kiss, yes. The last tour of the original lineup. Not the reunion tour, but like original. I was 10 years old. But it was amazing. So, okay, you know what? I'm going to play a little bit more. And then, oh, hey, Kirk Schwab pedal. Rock the double neck. That was fun with the double neck. Yeah, I'll take it down again. It's just it needs a little repair. It's a little hard to play, but I think it would be really fun to play that guitar through some of these gadgets that I'm playing with now. So yeah, I'm just going to play a little bit. If you're just getting here, I mentioned that I'm doing a show tomorrow with these great artists, a couple guys from Brand X, the founder of Brand X, Percy Jones. And it's going to be largely improvised and ambient. So I'm experimenting with pedals. So that's what's going on tonight. Every week I try to do something different. So this is more textural, atmospheric. So we will see what happens. All right, I gotta keep it quiet. it's late. It's hard to do that quietly, and it's after midnight. At least it's the weekend, so that was fun. Yeah, so a lot of the same gear I was talking about earlier. I added one extra thing there. This the micro synth. Right, that's that super crazy sound. I'll try to do this quietly. Yeah, I love that sound. It's very like very 70s, and that's a lot of fun. Yeah, and I don't know if you guys saw the picture. When I made the announcement for this show a couple days ago, I included a photo of this giant pile of pedals, and this is just a few of the pedals. Somehow I've acquired a lot of pedals, and I know some of you mostly know me for Testament, where it's pretty much it's a common sound. It's either there's a rhythm tone, a lead tone, an occasional clean tone. But outside of Testament, I do a lot of crazy sounds, and with these pedals, I like to have fun and see where it goes. I'm gonna try a couple more things, I think, before deciding exactly what rig I'm gonna bring tomorrow. But pretty much everything I've got here is working, so that's a good thing. The challenging thing is to feel a sense of control while you're playing. So we're probably going to get cut off soon, so I'm going to start wrapping it up. Rust is asking, would I please put this live on my account afterwards? We'll see. Yeah, sometimes I like to keep these special for just the folks that tune in, but I'll consider it. And there was some fun jamming there too. So I think what I sometimes do is I'll take the highlights, and if I get into a jam with you guys and if it feels something like it's worth sharing, then maybe I'll take a clip and I'll post that. I've done that a few times, and there was some fun stuff there. So I will at least review it, if not posting the whole thing. And thank you for the comments. Thank you. Somebody saying it's not how I remember Over the Wall. No, that's me neither. Greetings from Mexico. Cool. Creative Trouble has not listened to Parliament in a year. Yeah, well, you should listen to. I need to re-listen to some Parliament too. Oh yeah, you guys are. I think I was quoting Parliament a little bit. That's why I see a lot of Parliament comments. Yeah, it's fun. I'm having a good time. There's the cat. The cat's usually shy when I do these things, but hey. All right, she's shy. Okay. Any final questions? So, I see a couple more comments. It sounds good over the phone. Oh, that's very cool. Somebody likes the sassy energy in the guitar. Thank you. Yeah, well, this guitar, it does have a certain energy. I haven't taken this one out in a while. The last few times it's been different instruments. And this one I find is just really good for ambient type playing, and the intonation is really good. I don't know if that's because of the floating bridge. And the tremolo bar or something, I never did a whole lot of it. I used it early on some of the Testament stuff, but I quickly stopped using it just because after after my former teacher Satriani, once he got really known for this incredibly acrobatic, whammy bar stuff, and as did Steve Vai, and soon like everybody was doing that, you know. And I just thought, you know what, you guys do that. And then I got back into it recently. We did this guitar just so there was a version of it for folks that wanted a tremolo bar, and I've gotten into it. Not to do like the acrobatic stuff, but I love how Alan Holdsworth used the tremolo. I love how Jeff Beck used the tremolo and still uses the tremolo. You know, and so I find myself doing a lot of that type of stuff when I play this guitar. So I think tomorrow, for this performance, this is going to be the main guitar. I will probably bring another guitar.